I don't believe in limits. Technology? Conquerable. AI? Tameable. Time travel? Well, turns out, also possible. I was in my private lab under Starbase, staring at the sleek, metallic masterpiece before me, the Chrono X1. My team had no idea what it really was. Officially, it was a quantum particle accelerator prototype. In reality, it was my personal time machine. But there was a catch, a big one, the one-day rule. I could visit anyone in the past for one day and one day only. No second trips, no do-overs. Once I left, that timeline would seal itself shut forever. So, who do you choose? A pharaoh? A warrior? Some medieval king? Nope, too mainstream. I wanted Nikola Tesla, the man whose name electrified the future, the genius who saw further than Edison, the eccentric mind that belonged in the stars. But I wasn't going to ask him about science. I already knew how to build rockets and robots. I needed something more. Life, mindset, the secret to a success so legendary, it bends time itself. I powered up the Chrono X1, set the coordinates, New York 1899, and prepared for the jump. The machine hummed, 1,000 frequencies merging into one singular pulse. The world around me blurred, until I heard an unmistakable voice. Elon, buddy, what are we doing? I turned. Trump. Wearing a gold bathrobe, holding a Diet Coke, sitting in my time machine. What are you doing here? I yelled.
I was looking for my golf clubs. Saw this, thought it was a tanning booth. Great machine, by the way. The best. Absolutely the best.
Before I could kick him out, the Chrono X1 jolted, locked onto Tesla's timeline, and boom, we were gone. The year, 1899, New York City. We landed inside the Waldorf Astoria, Tesla's residence. The air smelled of burning coal, horse manure, and genius. Nikola Tesla sat alone, sketching designs that would never be built. He looked up, his sharp eyes locked onto mine. "Ah," he said, "I was expecting you." That threw me off. "You were?" Tesla smiled. "Time is an ocean, Mr. Musk, and some waves echo backward." Before I could process that, Trump interrupted, adjusting his golden robe.
Terrific place, Tesla. Love what you've done with the lighting. I do the best lighting. Ever seen my hotels? Very classy.
Tesla blinked. "Who is this peculiar man?" "That," I sighed, "is a mistake in the fabric of reality." Ignoring Trump, I got to the point. "Nikola, I came from the future. I can ask you only 4 questions, not about science, but about life." Tesla leaned back. "Then ask, and I shall answer." I took a deep breath. "You had one of the greatest minds in history, but most people waste their potential. How do you unlock true genius?" Tesla smiled, but he didn't answer directly. Instead, he took a candle from the table and lit it. "This flame," he said, "is like the mind. If left untended, it flickers. If fueled well, it becomes an inferno. The key to genius is isolation, obsession, and vision." He placed his hand over the flame. It didn't burn him. Society seeks to extinguish the fire of those who think differently. Protect the flame. Trump sniffed.
Sounds like a terrible business plan, but okay.
I leaned forward. "What is the greatest weakness that holds people back?" Tesla's expression darkened. "Desire for approval." He stood up, pacing. "They ridicule what they do not understand. And so men become prisoners of opinion. They silence their own ideas for the comfort of the herd." He turned to me. "Do you see?" I nodded. "So the key is to ignore them?" Tesla shook his head. "No, the key is to understand that their ridicule is proof you are ahead." Trump coughed.
I've been ahead my whole life. Critics, fake news.
Tesla gave him a look. "You are ahead in a very different way, my peculiar friend. I had to know." Tesla was brilliant, but broke, betrayed, laughed at, abandoned. Yet, he never stopped. "How do you keep going when everything crumbles?" I asked. Tesla's answer was cryptic. When a man walks in the rain, he does not ask the raindrops to stop. He simply continues walking. I frowned. That's it? Tesla smiled. The greatest minds do not chase success. They chase the vision itself. The world will catch up when it is ready. I felt that deeply. Trump yawned.
Great speech. Needs more branding.
I hesitated before asking my last question. It had to be the one, the question that mattered most. I took a deep breath. What is the greatest power a person can have? Tesla's expression softened. He looked out the window, at the dim, gas-lit streets of New York. Then he answered, mastery over oneself. I frowned. That sounds vague. Tesla turned back to me, his eyes burning with intensity. You can conquer the world, but if you cannot conquer your own mind, you will always be a slave. He walked over to the candle, let his fingers hover just above the flame. Most people are ruled by their emotions. Fear, anger, doubt. They react rather than act. But the greatest power is to be untouchable. He turned to face me fully. Control your mind, and you control everything. That hit hard. I wasn't sure I had mastered my own mind. Sure, I'd built rockets, AI, self-driving cars, but had I truly conquered myself? Trump, sitting in the corner, smirked.
I've mastered myself. I wake up, I eat the same breakfast, I tweet my thoughts, and I never apologize. That's power.
Tesla studied him for a moment. Then he sighed. Or perhaps some minds are simply beyond conquest. The Chrono X1 beeped, signaling the end of our visit. As we began to fade back into the future, Tesla smiled at me one last time. Remember, Elon, the mind is the engine. Everything else is just the machine. In the blink of an eye, we were back. 2025, my lab. I sat in silence, staring at my designs for Mars. Tesla's words echoed in my mind. Control your mind, and you control everything. I had conquered space, but had I truly conquered myself? Trump stretched.
Okay, great trip. Now let's talk business. Space hotels, moon golf courses, Mars business, huge potential.
I sighed. Some things never change, but some things should. In the next episode, we confront a brilliant mind with a daring question. Who reigns supreme, him or Nikola Tesla? His answer might shock you. Hit the bell icon, because this is one revelation you won't want to miss. See you in the next video.